I was going to ask about Lane Kiffin. What y'all think about him going to LSU?
Called it.
No, yeah.
That's official.
Yeah, I mean,
called it. Told you so. All of that.
Yeah, that was a given.
Is it because someone said that that's the only powerhouse school in the state? Like you don't have to compete with anybody else down there, as opposed to like more schools in Mississippi, more schools in Florida, more schools in Alabama. What do you think about that?
I don't know about that being the reason. At least it's not one of my reasons, because recruiting now is so regional and national that it has very little to do with who your immediate neighbors are. For instance, you look at on any level, look at the HBC level, you got Jackson State, Alcorn, and Valley in the same state. And both of them have teams made up of people from Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, wherever. It's like it's a bigger footprint now, particularly in the age of social media and streaming and all that. I will say this: when you look at the SEC, Chuck, and it being the blue blood powerhouse of college football for generations, this is not just past 5 or 10 years. This precedes Saban and post Saban. The SEC is the pinnacle, of college football in the eyes of many. And then when you go within that pinnacle, it's almost, I remember Coach Prime, I was so blessed and fortunate, he took me to a Hall of Fame ceremony with him. And in this room of Hall of Famers, you have Hall of Famers of Hall of Famers. Everybody in this room got a gold jacket, but there's some people everybody stop and go speak to because their gold jacket is a little bit bigger. And when you look at what the SEC means, those jobs at LSU, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, they mean a little more.
That's true.
They mean more than Missouri, Vanderbilt, Auburn. They just do. Now, not trying to offend a fan base or another, but it just is what it is. And when you look at the time that Lane Kiffin put in Ole Miss 6 years, and just getting them to where they're playoff likely or have a chance, even though they're not going to be in the SEC championship, you get what I mean? That's going to further prove my point. That same effort at LSU, you got 2 or 3 national championships.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
you got more exposure, more NIL revenue, bigger budget, truly a football school. To Chico's point, a state school that's the only state school playing at that level. You just keep on checking boxes where I can do all this effort right here in Oxford, and the most it's going to get me is here.
Yeah.
I can do that same effort in Baton Rouge, and we go here.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, it's almost like, what does a coach want to be in life? Most coaches want to be national champions. That's what they do it for. A lot don't. I get that. But Lane is of that ilk that, man, when this Alabama, the only reason he in Alabama is the job didn't come open when he was open.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Alabama's, Florida's, LSU's are hard to say no to, regardless of the size of the check.
Texas.
Most of the other schools, when you put the check on the table, they can't compete with that anyway because of their limited state funding and then limited resources from a donor pool. I don't know how he turns it down. I don't know how he says no to it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I mean, and then just from the standpoint of, and you mentioned it, there are programs in the SEC that are in the next room, and then there's everybody else. And I think it's hard for some fan bases to come to grips with that they're not the destination. They're a station within the destination, but they're not the destination. So when you start talking about the Alabama, Georgias, you mentioned Florida, I would probably throw Texas in there as well in terms of the vast amount of resources that they have. It's just different. And when those apex predators come calling, yeah, not only do you listen, but you go.
Yes,
and I'm gonna tell you this, Chuck. I'm right with you. Pardon, Chico. I left Texas out because of their recent joining of the SEC.
Yeah, that's fair.
But in fact, for the demonstration I'm doing now, I will take Texas and bump Florida out. Because of, again, money, not prestige of the job. Because I think Florida in its history is a very attractive job. But when you talk about now the resources and what it takes to truly win in college football, you can't. Oh man, I like where I'm at. I only want to talk to Texas and shit. You better pick up that phone.
Ain't lying. Yeah.
Let me ask this question, and I'm just curious, just to throw this out. How much of an impact did Nick Saban have on coming from Michigan State to LSU to coming in this and to coming into the SEC? Because I've heard some people sort of make the argument that Saban may have had a bigger impact on the SEC than even Bear Bryant, at the dawn of integration.
I think it. I think when you say yes to that, Chuck, you have to look at the timeline of all the other socio issues taking place or that had quote unquote been overcome. Bear Bryant drug his feet. Like he is when he lost the brothers that he added brothers. And then he gets celebrated for being one of the first to do it. Well, then when you fast forward 10, 15 years and it's now normal, Nick Saban inherited normalcy. And so what I was telling a guy just the other day, I said, man, keep this in mind. Every institution was once a revolution. I don't care how simplistic you may think it is. You look at the traffic light. Somewhere along the line, there was local governments that fought having traffic lights. Oh, we ain't never had that. We got a cop out there. We got a stop sign out there. What we need traffic lights for? And so many things that we look at as normal in sports now were once a revolution. Like you look just a few years ago how Coach Prime was attacked for utilizing the portal.
Mm.
And now everybody does it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody brings in their own team or clears out the previous team or current team. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But what's get fought when one person do is get celebrated when somebody else do it. Watch what's finna happen at LSU and how that roster becomes a hell of a lot of Ole Miss and flips.
Mm.
So in other words, Lane Kiffin just leveled up to a name brand job at LSU, or better name brand job.
Yeah, I mean, look, my grandmama taught me Chico coming up is a piss po frog that is shit on his own lily pad. I'm from Mississippi. I love my state.
Mm.
But you ain't finna sit here and tell me it's an easier convince to tell somebody to come live in Baton Rouge for 3 years or come live in Oxford for 3 years. And they from LA or they from New
Right.
York or they, I ain't talking about somebody regional. I ain't talking about
Mm-hmm.
talking to a kid from Memphis or a kid from Birmingham. I'm talking about you got the number one recruit, out of Maryland. You show him Oxford, show him Baton Rouge.
Mm.
He going to Baton Rouge all day long.
Good point.
And he finna get paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a reality of that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Coaches
But
chasing.
I would say
Okay,
this, Chico. It's amazing how people that cheer for you boo for you in an instance.
It don't take
That's
real
why
fast.
that's why you can't take none of this shit serious, man. Because these people that celebrate you, the minute you make another decision that they didn't want you to make, oh, here come the booze.
Mm-hmm.
You so mad at a man that you drive to the airport and hang on the gate to boo because he leaving.
Like drive all the way up there.
You
That's
drive
like what
all the way to
that's
the
like what they
airport.
really put you under the jail for. That's premeditated. Like you really
you,
going under.
you
You
can't
had a
get in, but
chance
you
to go
hanging
back.
on the fence and hoping he can hear you over the plane engine. He out there in the middle of the tarmac. And you, boo, we didn't like you no way. You traitor. Like, dog,
Man, come
go
on.
home, man.
You would have done, you would
Go
have done
home.
the same thing. You would have done the same thing, dog. Shout out to Doubly Blessed Twin Mommy. Let's see if we can pull it up right quick. Make sure I start this. And all the super chats just came through, but she came through with the 99.
Damn. Somebody got paid.
Just got paid Friday night.
I can't. I'm gonna try to read
Congratulations,
it.
Unc.
Oh yeah.
Continue blessings to you and the entire pregame network. I can't wait to see where God takes you and this incredible platform. The best is truly yet to come. Cheers to you. Cheers to Chico, Chuck, and the Queen Arlie. Blessings in the new year.
What's love?
From Doubly
Appreciate that.
Blessed. Twin Mommy
99.99.
38498. You ain't
That's what
lying.
I'm talking about.
That's a
That's like the
Hyundai.
8-ball MJG Econo spray paint job. You need to put a check with a check with a check.
Feel me?